Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at, well, a real classic from the Universal Century.
That's right. We're diving into the MS-14F Gelgoog Marine.
Yep, the one from Gundam 0083, Stardust Memory. We've gathered, quite a bit of infotech readouts, combat records, fan discussions.
And our mission really is to understand its place. Like, how did this suit fit into Zeon's tech tree right at the end of the one-year war? And why did it stick around?
Exactly, because this wasn't some limited prototype, was it?
No, not at all. Mass-produced. Designed by the Zeonic Company specifically for space combat, a direct evolution from the Gelgoog high mobility type.
And the list of who used it is kind of wild. You've got Zeon, obviously, but then Seema's fleet.
The Delaz fleet Zeon remnants.
Even the Earth Federation used them for training later on. And mass divers way down the line.
It tells you something about the design, right?
Yeah.
Robust, widely available, maybe.
For sure. First saw action right at the end, Battle of Baoa, December UC 0079.
And the original design is credited to Mika Akitaka. So the specs, head height around 19 meters, total height just over 20.
Right. Weight-wise, empty around 45 tons, maxing out near, 81 tons?
Yeah, something like that. Powered by the standard Minovsky reactor, output was 1,440 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Decent sensor range, too, 6,300 meters.
Standard cockpit, armor was super hard steel alloy, and the propulsion?
Total thrust was about 55,000 kilograms. Gave it a max acceleration of 0.68 g, which is, well, respectable. Right. And a pretty quick 180-degree turn time, 1.6 seconds.
Plus those standard external propellant tanks?
Right. So the specs are good, an improvement, definitely. But maybe not pushing the absolute bleeding edge like some late war prototypes suggests a balance, performance versus actually getting them built and out the door.
Makes sense. A pragmatic choice in wartime.
And it was built for the Zeon Marine Corps, which in Gundam speak usually means space-to-surface assaults, like hitting colonies or ground bases from orbit, not swimming.
Yeah, not actual water marines.
Exactly. It had a better power-to-weight ratio, more agile than the standard MS-14A Gelgoog. It actually rivaled the later MS-14JG Gelgoog Jäger in some ways.
But cheaper to build, presumably.
That seems to be the idea.
Yeah.
And some of its features apparently influenced the Jäger design later.
So, optimized for space, that unique backpack for the two big propellant tanks must have been key.
Huge boost to operational time range.
Yeah.
Perfect for deep space patrols or raids.
And they changed the arms, right? No thrusters there.
Nope. They integrated 110mm machine cannons directly into the forearms instead. Good for close-in firepower.
And the main gun was often the MMP-80, the 90mm.
Yeah, the United Maintenance Plan gun. Probably because it was reliable, maybe beam rifle ECAPs were still scarce or costly. You could also stick a grenade launcher on it.
Plus, Shima's units had that distinct camo pattern.
That fine point pattern, yeah. Supposedly to mess with visual identification, maybe even sensors a bit.
So fixed weapons. Those twin 110mm cannons in the forearms and two standard beam sabers on the waist.
Correct. But then you had options for handheld stuff. The MMP-80, like we said, or the older MMP-78 machine gun, even the Sturmfaust disposable rockets.
Could it carry a beam rifle?
It could, yeah. The standard Gelgoog one, or sometimes the rapid-fire MRB-110, plus the Rikdom II's giant bazooka, and different shield options, like that modified Zaku II F2 knuckle shield with spikes.
Lots of flexibility there.
Definitely versatile. Right. And again, those external propellant tanks were a major feature. Double-layered, carrying propellant and coolant. Could be jettisoned once they were spent.
The development was apparently super fast. Zeonic magic, they called it.
Yeah, though tragically the chief engineer reportedly died from overwork, a grim reality of wartime pressure.
Wow. Production started late, just before Baoa fell, but Seema's fleet got a decent number, maybe around 30.
Seems about right. Rumor was she used some connections to get that allocation. It really became her fleet's main suit in 00083.
We saw them escaping Baoa, then heavily involved in the Delaz conflict, attacking the Albion.
South Burning shot down a few when Seema tried her first betrayal attempt.
Right, and planting explosives on the colony mirrors during Operation Stardust, the colony jacking.
They were right in the thick of it, even after Seema switched sides to the Federation near the end.
And even after all that, the Federation thought they were good enough to use as aggressor units for training at Base Oakley.
Speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There was also the Commander variant, the MS-14Fs.
Missing his personal ride.
Mostly, yeah. Better mobility, slightly higher output, faster turns, extra verniers, blade antenna. Had Vulcans, too. Could carry up to 4 propellant tanks.
4? Wow.
But very limited production. Probably not cost-effective compared to the standard F model. And then you had the Stutzer version's field mods by Zeon remnants after the war.
A lot of known pilots, too? Geel Hunt, Siegfried Wedner. Some Fetties flew captured ones like Chuck Keith and Bernard Mancha, and Sima, of course, leading the fleet.
It pops up everywhere. Quick trivia. That coming camo, some say it resembles a German WWII pattern, the Erbsen muster.
Interesting historical nod, maybe? And wasn't there some confusion in a game about it being amphibious?
Yeah, Battle Operation 2 apparently mislabeled it. Definitely a spacesuit, though.
So, wrapping up, the Gelgoog Marine is, well, it's a fascinating snapshot, isn't it? Rapid innovation under pressure.
Exactly. It shows Zeon's ingenuity, but also the reality of needing something workable, something producible now. The fact that it survived and was adopted by so many factions speaks to its core effectiveness.
It really raises that question about the balance, cutting edge versus reliable and numerous. And that whole concept of a Space Marine Corps, how warfare itself was changing.
Maybe something to dig into further is the actual doctrine of Zeon's Marines, or how the United Maintenance Plan really impacted their late war designs.
Definitely food for thought.
And maybe consider this. In a universe defined by constant arms races and technological leaps, why did a suit like the Gelgoog Marine endure? What is its longevity, even in enemy hands? Tell us about what truly makes military hardware effective.